Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Debbie Danford from craftiercreations.blogspot.com. And today I'm coming to you with the Kintsugi Sweet. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I did look it up to figure out how to pronounce it, so I would pronounce it correctly. So hopefully I got it right. But today I'm actually concentrating more on the designer series paper, I guess you could say. I did do some die cuttings with some of the vases, yes, but it's more about the paper and this cute little fun fold. Now, the nice thing about all of this paper here, I'm going to bring it in really quick. So here's the piece we're going to use, and like this is the back side. I'll just show them all the pieces to you. There's that one. Again, very pretty. I love the gold in all of these. I love this one. Now this is similar to what the embossing folder that pairs with it looks like. And as you can see, I have cut some of the vases out because I've used them in a different card. This is the bundle that my monthly club people picked. And so I've been working on it for monthly club, and I decided I would bring one to you today and share it. And then here's the last piece, and then that's the back side. I think that's all of them. Yeah, there's that one. Wait, yep. So yeah, the paper is awesome. It's beautiful, and the suite itself comes with the paper, comes with the stamp set and dies. And sorry, I didn't grab the dies. I should have. The dies have these two shapes. It has this you can cut out, this you can cut out, these two, and then this little label here. And what else? Oh, and the suite comes with the embossing folder that looked like that one paper. It actually, here's a couple samples of it. So I embossed these two this time. And the embossing folder has, oh, actually I have a piece. Hang on. I see it. I have a piece I already embossed. Hopefully you can see that in the video. I'm going to tilt it a little bit. I know it's on Misty Moonlight, so it's blue, but as you can see, it's got different patterns throughout, and these patterns are what you see on the paper also. So it's really cool. There's the deboss side. Hopefully you're able to catch that on the video. All right. And then it comes with this bling. Now, right now, this is unavailable. We'll be back in, I think, in July sometime, but I can't remember now the exact date. And these are very shiny, and they coordinate quite well with the whole suite. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Technically, I am not stamping with anything out of here. It's more about the paper and this fun fold I'm going to do. And I did some die cutting ahead of time to prep for it. So I will go ahead and get started and show you what we're going to make. So here's our card, a cute little fun fold that I was inspired by my friend Nancy Reynolds. And I've made a couple since, and I had hesitated about making one with this paper, but it had been laying there for a while, kind of laying out, and I finally just decided to go for it. And then this is what I came up with. Now I'm switching these up a little bit because, like I said, I embossed them this time, so I think that'll change it up. And then, oh, these are the other two accent dies that come with it too, which I've already die cut these. Okay, now, how do we do all of this? So we're going to cut a piece, and I have a template. So here's my template out of a scrap piece of paper. You want a piece of your card base. So I'm using Misty Moonlight, and you want it 5.5 by 8.25. And I'm going to bring in my scoreboard here. You can use your paper trimmer to score with. You can use your scoreboard, whatever is your favorite. I personally like to use the scoreboard when I'm scoring. Okay, let's bring in our sample. So we have the 8.25, so the long length over here at the top. And then what we're going to do, it's really simple. We're going to score it 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like I said, it's simple. And then we have to do a little bit of trimming. So we're going to score it 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Move that out of the way. We will be using the paper trimmer too. Now, what I do is I turn it over, because then what we're going to do is we're going to go up. Oh, and I forgot to write that number down. I go up from the bottom 2 3/4. So you're going to go up 2 3/4. Oops. And put a little pencil mark, and you want to be able to see it. You can always erase it if it doesn't like disappear. And then we're going to cut from that point to the center of the card. So let's bring in our paper trimmer, and then we're going to line this up. So we're going to go, I want you to be able to see everything I'm doing here. Okay, I think you're all in camera. I think everything's in here. We're going to go from there to there. This is pretty much trash because you've got all those score lines there, so don't think you'd really want to reuse it. And then here's our pieces. Okay. Now, normally, you guys all know I work with, I keep my card base flat when I work on designing cards. But for this one, we are going to burnish and fold all these score lines, and we're going to burnish them really good so that our card doesn't just constantly want to pop up. And I'm just going, I started center, folding it in, so that would make it valley fold, and then we're going back and doing mountain fold, and then going again valley fold, and then mountain. At least I think that's how it all goes. It's just a back and forth. It's like making a fan. Remember when you were a kid and you used to make those paper fans? At least I assume everybody used to do that. I did, but I grew up in Arizona where it was always hot. Okay. So here's what we have going on right now. Okay. This. Now, this is our inside piece, 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to go right here. I'm not going to attach it yet because I haven't decided if I'm going to stamp something on the inside. I had stamped one of these. I thought I was going to use it on the front, but I changed my mind, so I ended up putting it on the inside. You could always add a strip of designer series paper. The only reason I didn't is because a little tiny piece sticks out, and here I'll show you. And I didn't like that. But if that doesn't bother you, you know, you certainly could add a piece of designer series paper to the inside. So when you add it, and I know it's very, very faint, but that little tiny piece peeking out bothered me. So I decided to go a different route. So I haven't decided if we're going to stamp on the inside. So we're not going to attach that yet. I'm going to bring in my layers. Okay. Now, again, you're going to need 2 pieces of Misty Moonlight, and this one is 3 by 4 1/4, and then you have 3 1/2 by 5. Sorry, it's hard to read the pencil with the glare. 3 by 4 1/4, and 3 1/2 by 5. Okay. Then we have 2 pieces of gold, and I've cut out of the center to save, because you want to, anytime you use gold foil or, you know, fancier foil pieces like this that are one-sided especially, cut out of the center of layers, because there's no sense in wasting all that space. And you'll see on this one, I cut that piece out of it. Okay, this one is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. That will layer onto here. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach it since we're kind of going through the steps. I might as well attach them at the same time. So again, this one was 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so that's going to go on there just like that. And then our other piece of gold foil is 2 3/4 by 4, which will layer up on here just like that. Not that it matters if that pot was upside down, because nobody's going to see it, but I just decided to flip it. Okay, so that goes there. And then you only need 2 pieces of designer series paper. One of them is 3 by 4.5, which is now going to layer up on here, just like that. So let's go ahead and attach that. So there's that one. And then this piece is 2.5 by 3 3/4, which will go on right there. So let's go ahead and attach that. Once you make one of these, it's very, very simple. Okay, so there's that. And you don't have to necessarily use the same designer series paper. You could use different colors if you wanted, coordinating colors. Now, what you're going to do is the bigger piece goes in the back and it's going to attach to right here. Let's move that out of our way. You're going to put some adhesive, and I used glue just so I had a little bit of wiggle room. You could use Stampin' Seal Plus or tear and tape, whatever your favorite is. And we're going to put adhesive here, and then this is going to line up all the way to the edge and all the way to the bottom, just like that. So let's go ahead and add some adhesive and get that piece down. And you just want to make sure you get along your edges there too. So again, I'm lining it up to the score line and to the bottom, and then I'm going to push. You want to make sure it's straight all along there. Don't want a crooked card. Okay, so there's our first section. Then this piece here goes on this front flap right here, and it's gonna do, you're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put adhesive here, and we're gonna line this up with the edge and with the bottom. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some adhesive here, and then this is gonna go right here like that. And then I'm going to push that down, okay? And then I will show you so far what we've got going on. Okay, so this is our card. And then, of course, it would open all the way like that. Pretty cool, huh? Now, for our decorating. I used the Happy Birthday from the Beautiful Butterflies, but we're going to stamp it happy and then birthday down below, because I was trying to find, I don't know, I wanted a happy birthday card as I was designing for Monthly Club, which I'm almost done, I think. This could be Project 5. Sometimes when I do it as a video, I don't use that card. I'll tend to make another one, but I kind of like it, so it still may go in the pick. And if you're not part of my Monthly Club and you're interested in it, please let me know. It's awesome. That's what I'll say. Sorry, I have something floating in my... There we go. It's $39.50 a month. You make 5 projects, 2 of each, and you usually get anywhere between $15 and $20 in product included in that, and that also includes shipping. And I let them vote on the bundle every month. Okay, so I'm just inking up the happy. Now, if you don't trust yourself, you can put a piece of washi tape, a sticky note, any of those along there. I'm going to, well, now I moved it. I just wanted to check it because I felt like I had a whole lot of ink right there by the H. So we're going to try that again. Okay. And then, let's move that, move this. I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. Actually, I'm not, because it looks like the Y isn't quite inked up. There we go. Okay, I'm going for the gusto. There's our happy. Now we want to clean this. Or again, you could use washi tape and you would be covering that part up. Sometimes I find it just as easy to just ink up half of it if it works out. Not all of them work out that easy though. Sometimes it is easier to just use some washi tape. Okay, And now I'm going to turn this around, and then I'm going to stamp the birthday at the bottom, just like that. Woohoo! I did it. Can't believe I did it. Okay, since we have that out, I am going to go ahead and stamp the big vase. Well, wait. Or do I want the flower? I'm almost leaning towards the flower, only because I do feel like this is kind of the flower design here. So we're just going to stamp. Now I'm going to stamp in this corner here, mainly because I don't want to see a little portion of it sticking out right here. If you want to have something sticking out there, you certainly could. You could put a piece of designer series paper on this end to tie it all together if you wanted. I just didn't want to do that for this one, but you certainly could. So I'm just going to stamp one little flower, I think. Yeah, we're just going to go with that. And that's going to go on the inside. So let's go ahead and attach that so that then it's out of our way. And that will go right here. And somehow I don't know what I got on it, but okay, so there's that part. Now let's close this up so we don't drop the whole card in it. Now, I have already die cut 2 vases, one out of the Misty Moonlight, and you saw this came out of the center of this piece here. Then I took the embossing folder and I just laid the 2 pieces down and I embossed them. One's got the little diamond shapes, and then this one's got that flower pattern, kind of like what we have going on here on this designer series paper. Now, I'm going to layer them kind of like that. And I'm going to put them together, and I'm just going to use glue. This really is going to give it a different look with these embossed, I think. And we'll see which one everybody likes better. Okay. So there's that part. Then what I did is I took and put this kind of right here on the front. And then I have this one tucking out right here. Now I kind of tucked it in between the two. Just like that. And then I used glue. And if you have a fine tip bottle brush or fine tip bottle that you use, I have gotten really good about just dabbing it on very lightly. I don't squeeze, a whole lot out at once. And sometimes I just go pick up little bits that you have there because you don't need that much. Now, if you want to use the 2-sided adhesive sheets and put it down first and then die cut it, you certainly could do that. I always forget. I'm always already die cutting, and then it's like, oh, shoot. I should have done that. And I forget. Okay, so there's that. And if you feel like you need something on there for a minute, just put something flat on there. There we go. Okay. Now we have, there we go, got that little extra piece out. Now, I didn't pop this piece up because I wanted to pop the phrase up, but you certainly could pop both up if you wanted to. And again, I'm just going to add glue here. And then I'm just going to add a little bit right there, just like that. And put that down. And of course I popped these up with dimensionals, or popped our phrase up with dimensionals. All right. And peel these off, maybe. Okay. And then we're just going to attach that to the front, and then we'll add some bling. I come down a little bit. Last time I showed the bottom of the pot, but I think this time I'm going to come down a little bit and just have it like that. Of course, anything goes. And then let's grab our bling. Now for monthly club, they're not going to get this bling because like I said, it's unavailable right now, but I found a package that works really great with, that'll coordinate really well. Okay, let's go ahead and put a couple of these down. Okay, and there's our, and I don't even know if there's a specific name for this fun fold. I don't remember. I'll have to look. But anyway, I like it. It's cute. It shows off designer series paper. And of course, the sky's the limit on what you do with it, honestly. Like I said, these could be coordinating patterns. These could be cardstock and you could stamp on them. There's so many options there of what you could do with these, with this type of layout. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's project. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out and ask. If you don't have a demonstrator and or you need a catalog, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to send one off to you. And please don't forget to, if you don't already follow me, I would love it if you'd follow me either on YouTube or Facebook. I post this video on both places, so make sure you like it, follow me. I'm trying to build those follower numbers up, and share it. Share, share, share. I love it when everybody shares. All right, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you again next week. Bye, guys.